Start. Okay. Parents and guests, we will start very soon. We were just waiting for a few more participants to log in before we start our evening program. Thank you all for being here. So while we're waiting, I will tell everyone that CMS just put communication out that tomorrow is going to be a remote learning day. You'll be getting a phone call probably very soon. Anticipating that possibility, we have a schedule tomorrow we're going to send to you for our students. And the schedule is going to include all 4 blocks in the day. What we're asking teachers to do is to open up live Zoom links each block. And for students that need to turn in last minute work or have questions about last minute work, for students that need to ask questions and review for our 4th block exam, which is left to happen, they may do that. And for students that have missed exams, they may also log on to their teacher and talk to them about any missed exams that they'll need to make up next week. So when you get the schedule, you'll see a live Zoom link schedule with times, and I would have your young person utilize that time for any, as I said, makeup work, missed exams, and the 4th block exam coming up next week. What we're going to do is Monday will still be a work day, and Tuesday will be the start of 2nd semester, but Tuesday will also be our 4th block exam day for high schools. So our 4th block exam day will be Tuesday, and then we're going to have Wednesday and Thursday as makeup days for exams. We will also begin our 2nd semester classes on Wednesday and Thursday of next week. So those will happen after makeup exams occur in the morning. Students that don't need to make up exams will be in homeroom in the morning, and then will attend their classes for 2nd semester after that homeroom exam period ends. And we're going to make sure you have all this, parents, so that you can navigate your plans for next week. Nothing like shifting as needed, and what a great week for poor weather. It's been a lot of fun trying to get our exams completed in a timely manner. I'm going to go ahead and start our presentation. We have about 139 participants. I hope that more will join us as the presentation moves forward. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available for all parents on our website. And we'll make sure that's also in our Mustang Express. So welcome. It is great to be here, even in a virtual way. I'd like to introduce Katie Willett, who is our IB coordinator here at Myers Park High School, and Allison Davis, who will be joining us. There she is. She's actually working on a Connect Ed right now to you. So you're about to hear all that information that I just shared. And she is the expert of that. You hear from her a lot, I know, and certainly a lot this week. So I'm Robert Folk. I'm your principal. If you haven't met me yet, I look forward to seeing you all and meeting you in the near future. I'm very excited about being at Myers Park. It's only been 2 weeks, and it's just been a great experience. I feel like I've come back home. I am a Myers Park graduate, proud graduate, and worked at Myers Park High School 20 years ago. And then have been involved with the South Park community and South Park families for many, many years. So it's just great to be back in my home school. And I'm just very proud to be here. I'm very humbled by this opportunity and by this experience. So thank you all for being so generous and welcoming as I walked in the door. Again, it's been about 2 weeks that I've been on campus, and there are a few changes we're making for next year that I wanted to go over with you tonight. I want to first say to you that I wish I could have started with this presentation. That would be the way I normally operate. I will say I was 2 days on the job and we discussed these changes, and I needed to get something out to you because registration cards had to be printed and posted. And I regret not being able to do this presentation in the very, very beginning. But I'm glad you're here tonight, and I hope that whatever information you get tonight, you will share with other Myers Park families and community members so that you can understand a few of the changes we're making for next year. So last year, our school leadership team worked on a platform for Myers Park and the work that Myers Park does with all students. And that platform includes a vision and a mission for our school. With that, we have pillars of academics, character, and community. And those would be pillars of what we believe all students and all children will benefit from in the Myers Park community through our teaching and learning process. And then, of course, the foundation of all this is the type of learner we're looking to produce in our school. And you can read some of those qualities of the type of learner we want all students to be in our school when they graduate and then move on to careers and college opportunities. And with that, I also looked at data that we had for our school. And the data came from the IB organization, as well as data regarding our students and their progress from 9th to 12th grade. I also used data that I already had from being a middle school principal, our major feeder school, AG Middle School, for 11 years, and knowing questions I had each year from parents and from students, and how those students moved from the middle school years to the high school years, and then their progress and success in high school. The data was interesting, and the data included the IB organization's recommendation that we create a program where MYP is available for all students. They specifically said that Myers Park's MYP program was not accessible for all students. And I don't mean that to sound as a negative. It was just something that they looked at and said we were not as open as and accessible as IB as an organization would like for us to be. Along with that, I was approached by teachers and Katie Willett. And the teachers really wanted to look at some changes for MYP at Myers Park based on some success we already have with our economics personal finance class. Those of you may or may not know that we changed our approach for economics personal finance a few years ago. That is a new required course for graduation. It was designed originally as a 12th grade course, but we found it better served in the 9th grade. Also, Myers Park made a bold step and made the personal finance course an MYP course, and actually had all students will actually take that course before they graduate, and it starts in the 9th grade. That course includes a lot of planning and development of your high school, college, and career. So that's what's so unique about it and so nice about it in the 9th grade. So instead of waiting until 12th grade to plan your college and career, you get to start that in the 9th grade. And so I fully agree with that philosophy. So teachers approached me based on the success we had already had at Myers Park with that course, and we took these changes to the ILC, which is our Instructional Leadership Council, which is made up of all department heads here at Myers Park. And after talking about some changes we wanted to make in our academic program and pathways, the ILC fully endorsed this and committed themselves to make sure that all teachers would be trained and would also begin this journey with fidelity. So I'm going to break down these changes and we're going to walk through why, and then I'll be able to answer some questions that were already submitted at the end of this presentation. And then we have a moment to also answer any new questions in the chat. So the changes basically are that we are removing the honors option for our core classes in 9th and 10th grade, and we're just replacing that with IB middle years program. So in the past, Myers Park has had a scholars option, which is our standard course option. We've had an honors option, and we've had MYP, which is the middle year IB program. So we're removing the honors, we're keeping our scholar standard option, and then all other students would benefit from the middle years program. You can read on this slide what the middle years program is about, the framework, the focus, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about IB in the next couple slides. In addition to that, it was important for me and others that we help students look at the pathways beyond 9th and 10th grade, because really that's when a student starts to look closely at what colleges they might attend, what careers they're interested in, what coursework they would like to take. And the coursework varies and is very rich. So there are very different options here, and some of the options also have overlapping qualities. For instance, in 11th and 12th grade, after 9th and 10th graders in our honors program get to that point, they choose from what would be advanced placement courses, which includes an AP Capstone program, the IB Diploma program, and a college or a college and career ready program. So college and career ready includes career technical pathways for a student that wants to work in a technical field, maybe right out of high school or with some CPCC or other community college or technical school credentials. And the College Career Promise is a CPCC option where students can take CPCC courses while they're in high school. So these are the pathways that we're working to better communicate to all of our students and parents and really develop some programming around. In addition, utilizing the 9th grade economics personal finance course, my vision is that all students would develop a 4-year plan in the 9th grade. And then we would do that through Naviance, which is a state power school supported program where students actually do planning for their future, so that all students would have a plan forward and we could review that plan year to year and make adjustments as needed, because adjustments are going to be made. Not all 9th graders are going to know exactly the courses they want to take and the pathways they want to follow. And that's where our counseling team and Ms. Willett and others will help students define their high school experience even better. And I say that because I have experienced a lot of students who enter high school and they really don't know what direction they want to go. And so being able to start talking about that, being trained how to actually plan ahead, and then put it in a written form is going to be fantastic. And our economics and personal finance teachers are 100% behind this. They're so excited about this opportunity. One came to me yesterday, the department chair, and she said, I can't tell you how excited I am and how my team's so excited about working with students on developing these plans in high school. And that just makes me very, very happy. And I feel like with that, we will have more success with more students down the road. So why IB? Well, IB is an organization that aims to develop inquiring, knowledgeable, caring young people. So why would we not want all students to be those young people? And what does IB do? Well, it develops a challenging secondary program that with international education and a rigorous assessment. And I want you to know that MYP is not a curriculum. So in the past, the honors classes and the MYP classes use the same curriculum. It's the approach to that curriculum and the additions that IB brings to the curriculum and the methodology and the pedagogy that teachers are trained on that makes MYP special and MYP so important. And I would say the same thing for IB. We get confused sometimes between these terms IB and MYP and IB diploma, all come from the IB organization. But IB diploma doesn't start until 11th grade. MYP is elementary up through our 10th grade. And then look at the goal of IB. The goal of IB stands out to me: to encourage students across the world to become active, compassionate, lifelong learners who understand that other people with their differences can be right. And if you think of that, why wouldn't we want all students to be those young people? It's very compelling to me. So to break it down a little bit more, and Katie's the expert, I'm not the expert. So if you really want the details of this, please reach out to Katie Willett. But here's some simple ways to break down IB's approaches to learning, which is MYP, the middle years program. Looking at how we learn and teaching students to learn through thinking skills, study skills, information processing. So these are some executive functions that I believe all students benefit from in middle school and certainly in high school. Also looking at monitoring the effectiveness of learning and understanding and evaluating that learning, which IB does a wonderful job on. So we definitely want that in all of our classes and in our school. Finally, IB brings some behavioral emotional management and skills of self-motivation to the table. So if you think of these approaches to learning, why wouldn't we want all courses to have these approaches to learning? And then along with the approaches to learning, we have to look at approaches to teaching. And this is where we're going to train staff. So it is going to be a journey because we will have to train more staff on this campus than ever before on the IB methodology. And Ms. Willett may be a little overwhelmed by that, but I'll tell you, she's excited about it. And the district also supports us. So we're going to have to find creative ways so that all teachers really benefit from the IB approach. But look at these approaches to teaching and learning: inquiry, global context, teamwork, collaboration, differentiated lessons, and assessment to back it up. So these are things we want to see in all of our courses at Myers Park High School. And in this case, through MYP, we're going to see it in all of our core courses. So what I've got next, and this is probably going to be best served when you receive this PowerPoint and you're able to really focus on this, because I don't want to go through all of this for you because it's a lot of information. But what I love about it, and Allison Davis created this for us, and so she did a beautiful job, but this helps you see examples of our pathways for students, starting in the 9th grade and finishing in the 12th grade. It also gives you those credits that students are receiving along the way. And you'll see different options and different pathways for different learners through this example. And this is the example for English. Here's an example for math. I will tell you that the year-long math is a Scholars, which is a standard course option. I also want to make notice that honors does not go away in 11th and 12th grade. So while we did replace honors with MYP in 9th and 10th grade, we still need honors choices in 11th and 12th grade for students. So students in 11th and 12th grade along these pathways, as you see, would have options for a scholars, honors, AP, and IB pathway, which currently exists today. Here's the science pathway. Some of the not applicable is because the credits, the students will receive their credits of graduation before the 12th grade year. And then the students that do take science 4 years would actually be doing that for more college preparation and college-based work. And here's your social studies pathways. You'll see that MYP Personal Finance is across the board for all 9th graders. And that is the course where they're going to be making some decisions and outlining what 4 years will look like in high school for them. And then beyond the 4 years, what does that look like? And believe me, these pathways can change as the student decides they want even more rigorous, challenging courses, or in some cases, they need to back off a little bit. They've got too much on their plate. So this can change along the way. Next, I have an example of a 4-year plan for each learning level of student where they want to be most challenged. And this is very helpful because you'll see this for, let's say this is one student, this is a scholars and honors or AP student. And here's a 4-year plan, kind of 4-year example of courses they would take. And you'll notice at the bottom, this does not leave out all elective courses. So look at all the elective options. In this case, it looks like the student was interested in culinary arts. So you see a heavy concentration in culinary arts. But they also got to take Spanish along the way, literature and film. So these are some interests of this particular student. Here's the example 4-year plan for IB. And you'll see IB before all of these courses after MYP, because when you enter the 11th grade in the IB diploma track, all courses are generated by the IB organization, and Ms. Willett supports those. You'll see those electives down there too. You'll see an addition of language with the IB diploma track, and then you'll see some specialty courses like psychology, theory of knowledge. And in this case, students still wanted to do newspaper. So they were able to take newspaper 1 and newspaper 2, which is not an IB course. They have the same options too with some AP courses. That gets a little more complicated, but I'm sure Ms. Willett could help a student in the IB program if they were interested in an AP course. So AP is not impossible, but you have to fit it in a schedule, correct, Ms. Willett? Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
And then finally, here's a 4-year plan for an honors AP college career promise student. So you'll see again, MYP in 9th and 10th grade. You'll see the languages there. Then you'll start seeing some honors courses in 11th grade. And then you'll see AP courses in 12th grade, and including some other interests like dance in this student's situation. They like dance, and so they really did this whole dance program in high school, which is fantastic. And then, of course, some other business courses, which would be part of our CTE option. And finally, in terms of pathways, we have a new program that's the AP Capstone Diploma. Just like we have the IB Diploma, we now have the AP Capstone Diploma. It is rich in AP courses, so a student has requirements just like IB Diploma that they must accomplish to actually get what we call an AP Capstone Diploma and that certification. And you'll see those requirements below. So a minimum of 6 AP courses, they can certainly have more. They must score a 3 or higher in the AP Seminar, AP Research, and a 3 or higher in 4 additional courses. That makes up the 6. They have to take 4 courses plus the AP seminar, AP research to be eligible for an AP Capstone Diploma. And the AP seminar is 10th or 11th grade, and the research class is 11th or 12th grade. And it does not replace their English requirement. So another rigorous option next to IB diploma that is pretty directed in some ways, so that because they're course requirements, versus someone who wanted just to take an AP course here or there in a level, in an interest area. So now I'm going to answer some questions, and you all submitted some great questions. So we'll answer these questions, and then we'll have time for some others that you want to put in the chat. So if you want to put some in the chat, I think you're able to do that. And you can put some questions, but I say wait until I answer these. I might answer your question. I'm going to do it quickly. Can students still opt out of IB in 11th and 12th grade and pursue AP classes instead? Yes, students will choose a pathway for 11th and 12th grade. The IB diploma pathway is one of multiple pathway options for college and career choices. Grading policy and how that affects IB course grades for students not planning on continuing with IB junior year. Well, the adopted CMS grading policy is for all classes and all pathways. Will the recording be available? Absolutely. Shared on the PTSO website and the Mustang Express. And I want to stop and thank the PTSO for hosting this and doing this for our parents. This is fantastic that we have this availability, and I appreciate our PTSO so much and the support that they have provided. Will IB classes still be weighted 4.5 or 5? All honors MYP classes are weighted 4.5, except for health, PE, levels 1 and 2 of languages, and beginning intermediate fine arts classes. Oops. I'm sorry. Let me go back. Project Lead the Way engineering classes are 5.0 weighted. And the majority of your College Career Promise, which are CPCC courses, are 5.0 weighted. Not all, but the majority are. So again, it just depends on the levels. Honors, if you remember, in 9th and 10th grade, also had the 4.5 weight. So honors and MYP classes are the same. How will entering freshmen be evaluated, recommended for various levels, year-long, IB, mid-year, etc.? Counselors in the middle schools and high school and for incoming freshmen will help make recommendations. Counselors and teachers are available to assist Myers Park High School students on campus. I realize that we will be needing time to share these changes with all counselors at the middle grades, and we're planning on doing that before middle grade registration occurs. And as you know, if you have a middle school student, the middle grades registration is not happening at this moment. What is happening right now is the high school registration. So we'll make sure all middle grades counselors understand these changes well and understand what the expectations are. If a student plans on doing AP Capstone, are they still required to take foreign language in 10th grade? While a language is not a requirement for AP Capstone, we encourage students to talk with their counselors. Many competitive colleges will expect an applicant to take a language while in high school. So yes, for college-based students, that language is going to be looked at by colleges and is a requirement for the IB diploma track. When will registration begin? Well, again, registration is actually starting now in high school, and in middle school, it'll be later this spring. Do 9th graders share classes with the other grade levels? Well, they can share classes. It depends. High school students are taking courses based on the current level, which might be Math 3, can have students in 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, based on the student's completion of the prerequisites. So I know that students in, let's say, my former school, AG, we had a Math 1 and a Math 2 option in the 8th grade. So those 9th graders would be in Math 3, along with some other students that would be in Math 3 in 11th grade, if they started Math 1 in 9th. However, I will say, again, we have the Scholars option and the Honors option for those levels. Will the personal projects for 9th and 10th grade still be part of the curriculum? So this is big for IB and certainly MYP. The independent reading project for grade 9, personal project for grade 10, and service in action, that's service hours for grade 9 and 10, will be a requirement for all students. The skills outreach provided through the experiences are best for all learners, and support will be provided to the IB coordinator. Now, we'll tell you, as much as we're going to require and really help students achieve these goals, those are not graded assignments. So at the end of the day, even though we will really focus our students in these areas because we believe these are good for all students, not being graded assignments, it would not hurt their academic average if they did not complete one of these assignments. Not that we're going to encourage that. Do you anticipate needing the curriculum to be slowed down to accommodate slower learners typically would not have self-selected IB for their class choice? Each class, regardless of the level, is expected to follow the state adopted curriculum for the course. Once again, the IB curriculum for 9th grade English 1 and the honors curriculum for 9th grade English 1 are the same. Plans are underway to provide staff needed MYP training in any classroom environment differentiated as needed to support the diverse learning needs of all students. And IB does a really nice job training teachers of how, by using the various teaching techniques, you may differentiate for learners in the classroom. And IB was developed for all learners. IB was never developed as an organization or as a teaching and learning modality for just your highest level learners. I want to make sure we're clear on that. By combining honors and IB mid-year programs, will we see an increased class size, 9th and 10th grade? What's the current size, current IB, English 1, et cetera, et cetera. Both honors classes, MYP classes are currently capped at 36 students. Caps will not change for 22-23. We have capped at 35 or 36 students for the past 3 or 4 years in both honors and MYP. So the class changes ultimately will not change. For kids coming out of middle school like AG, will the counselors recommend they take standard? Kids in standard plus and honors be directed to take MYP? If there is a benefit to having standard plus and honors in literacy and math in middle school, why is it better to combine those levels in high school? So the reference standard plus classes were at honors level, and we use the honors curriculum for those classes. The design was to help students move into higher level coursework in middle school and high school by adding executive functioning skills to the teaching and learning process, something MYP already does. The IB MYP program naturally has teaching and learning practices that include executive function to support all learners. Providing MYP as our honors option supports all learners and strengthens our overall academic program. Is the combination of honors and IB MYP that the IB organization recommending to all IB schools and with both programs, or is this change specific to MPHS? Well, as I said earlier, the IB organization performed an audit of Myers Park IB this past fall. The results of that audit stated that Myers Park does not have an IB program that's open and accessible to all students. And in most places that you'll visit across the country and world, you'll see an MYP program for all students. I would say that, Katie, you can clarify this for me. You visited many more than I have ever visited, but I would say that CMS has a little bit different approach.
Yeah, just to chime in really quickly, I think the district is really excited in the moves that we are making, especially based on the recommendation from the IBO for us to do this. Most IB schools are magnet schools, and we are not a magnet school, which allows us to move this to serve all of our students, which I think is really exciting.
Thank you. Will all teachers who will be teaching IB classes be given extra training? The answer is yes. Can students take some AP courses combined with CCP courses, or the paths exclusive? We pretty much went over that, but I'll answer it again. In grades 11 and 12, students may take AP courses combined with CCP courses. And CCP, again, is College Career Promise. You might think of it as CPCC courses because that's basically what those are. And a student must be in 11th grade and meet prerequisites to begin that work at CPCC. And the final question we were answering that was sent previous to this presentation is, can CCP students earn an associate's by their 12th grade year? or does an AA require an additional year beyond graduation? And there's a contact there. So students can graduate with an associate's degree while graduating from Myers Park High School. So now we are equal to the middle year colleges. Michelle Byer is our contact for CPCC, and we encourage families to visit this site for any information about the College and Career Promise, College Career Center readiness. I will say that in the future, we will probably be advising parents and students who want to take all courses at CPCC and work toward that associate's degree to consider enrolling in one of the middle year colleges. The middle year colleges are best designed for that option. And while Myers Park is currently offering great flexibility, a student going to CPCC for all of their coursework, in their 11th and 12th grade year would really never step foot on our campus. And unless they had something specific at Myers Park they were involved in, let's say a arts program or athletics, or let's say wanted that traditional high school experience in some degree, they would probably be better served by one of the middle colleges. So if you need more information about this, we have been training our counselors here first to understand the changes and to be able to speak on those. These are the counselors that are going to be working with your students if you're currently at Myers Park. And please know that right now, these are the counselors and their alphabets. Sometimes that changes over the summer. So at this moment, I can tell you, this is the counselor based on your last name you would reach out to. I will tell you that counselors are not making appointments right now for registration. So registration is going to occur in February. But at this moment, if you email your counselor and say, I'd like to make an appointment to go over registration, the counselor is going to say, please wait until February. And in a minute, Ms. Davis is going to talk to you more about next steps.
Hey,
and there we are.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. I'm Allison Davis. I'm one of the assistant principals. Thank you, Mr. Folk, for introducing me at the beginning. So next steps, the biggest thing is that if you have not already done so, you want to visit our counseling website for course registration info, and I have placed a link there, as well as the link to this PowerPoint, that if you just go and get that link to this PowerPoint, you'll not only get to see a copy of the PowerPoint, but you'll have a direct link to the registration site. Our counselors do a fantastic job of keeping that site updated. It actually has a CMS planning guide that tells you about the different courses. It has copies of all 4 course cards. If you have a rising 9th grader, you are not behind. They have not started working with rising 9th graders yet. Once we return from break, I'm sorry, not break. It used to be break. Once we return from finishing up our exams and begin second semester, our counselors are going to visit all second semester English classes and A-Day, B-Day English classes to complete registration with the students that are on our campus. After that, they will have a special meeting where they will invite all of the counselors from each of the feeder middle schools to come over and learn more about Myers Park and what courses we have. And they will give them copies of the cards to bring back to their students. Our counselors then, for the larger schools like Alexander Graham, Carmel, Sedgefield, they will set up a time to go over to the school and register with the students. For some of our smaller feeder schools like Piedmont, where we just pick up a few kids, Randolph, there will be a time available on our campus for those students to come and meet with us. And then for students that are brand new to the Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools, there will also be a time that's available for those students to come and meet with one of our counselors and register. But again, if you will just follow that website, it will stay constantly updated with when the next phase of everything is. One of the things that always concerns families is they feel like, well, if my child is one of the last ones to register, they're not likely to get their classes. That is not at all how the master schedule is created. We will actually get the requests from all of our students. We will then build the master schedule based on those requests. And then at that point, the students will be uploaded, grade 12 first, then grade 11, then grade 10, and then grade 9 as far as rising grade goes. So it is, of course, based on the grade because they have to look at making sure kids have what they need in order to graduate. But your child being non-CMS and one of the last ones to enter their request will not keep them from getting the courses that they want. Thank you.
And you just called me. Myers Park High School just called me. So you all might be getting a call in a few minutes. And I assume that's our plan for tomorrow and probably for next week. I would tell you, Allison Davis is the master when it comes to communication. And you guys, it's amazing what she can get out. And I know you hear a lot from her, but you know what? I hope you feel like you're getting current information and timely information. And this week has been a mess. We have had to change our messaging multiple times because we really thought we knew what was going on and then something changed. The weather is just so unpredictable. Do we have the option of chat tonight? The chat box?
We can try it. I have one person who's raised her hand, Jennifer. I'm gonna see how this works. Hold on one second. Oh, and Jennifer?
She's muted.
Okay, we're gonna try Ann Manning.
Yeah,
You're there.
I am.
Hi, Ann. Do you have a question?
I do. So I actually have a rising ninth grader and I have a current 10th grader. I love the idea of the developing the 4-year plan. How is that going to work for the current ninth graders? Because some of them I know, mine will be starting second semester personal finance, but I know a lot of them have already completed that.
That's a very good question. And we'll have to work on that. I know these are changes for next year and we're in development. And I don't know, maybe if our teacher, they're so excited about this, maybe they can actually do something for second semester. First semester, obviously not, but second semester, yes. So thank you for raising that, because I'll take that back to them and maybe this can be a dry run in the spring, you know, thinking of how we're going to do this next year. I know it's something that we really, I'm excited because it's something I've really thought about for a long time. And I probably needed that as a student at Myers Park, you know, a few years ago when I was here.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Thank you for it.
You're welcome to raise your hand.
Let's see. Melissa Sullivan, do you have a question?
I know Jennifer Ewert still has her hand up, so I didn't know if she had a question or not.
Kristen Browning.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. I was wondering, I have a rising junior, and I was wondering if honors courses were actually still available for rising juniors and seniors, or is it only IB and AP and then the standard courses?
So honors courses are available for juniors and seniors. I'm going back, if you can see the slide in front of you, these are some examples, of course, but you'll see in 11th and 12th grade, those honors options. So the answer is yes to your question. So it will be for 11th and 12th grade, we will have a scholars option, an honors option, and then an AP options and IB options. And then of course, all of our electives that are, you know, part of that. You'll see those in some of these slides here.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Falk. And also I was wondering if my child was wanting to take a course or two at CPCC, does he need to actually enroll in the college or the program in order to take, say, a push over at CPCC?
That is a Miss Davis question.
So just for clarity, A-Push would not be available there, but you can take Honors American History 1 and Honors American History 2. It is our understanding from the district that they are going to accept Honors American History at CPCC in place of American History. Since we no longer have both as a requirement, when you take it there, it is weighted as a 5.0 course. The majority of the courses our kids take there are 5.0 weighted courses, but there are some exceptions to it. You are not enrolling at CPCC. You're actually working through Ms. Beyer, who is our contact in order to enroll in that program. And in the Q&A part of this, I actually put the link to her website so that you can go on there and read more information. But yes, it is available to 11th and 12th graders. It does have prerequisites to it. So you definitely want to speak with her about the prerequisites and make sure they're being met as early as grade 9.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Davis. Thank you, Mr. Folk.
We have a few minutes for any other questions.
Jennifer, would you like to ask the question? Ann Parkinson?
Yes. I am wondering if my daughter has already filled out her registration card, but would like to change something based on, more information or whatever. How does she go about doing that?
In the registration process, following the English 2 classes that are going to take place shortly after we end exams, there is another period of time in there where students can set up one-on-one meetings with their counselors to go over what they requested, to make sure that it's accurate, to make any changes that they would like to make. And so they just need to go to their counselor's website and sign up for one of those appointments. And some of the counselors have actually already posted the link for their appointments during that time, even though it's still about 3 weeks out before they start those appointments.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
There's another one. It's a phone number that ends in 2212. Tanya August.
Hi, thank you so much for this presentation. This is enormously helpful. But could you talk a little bit about what the IB analysis math classes entail compared to, for example, honors pre-calc? When my son had his meeting, he was told to sign up for IB, but I'm wondering now whether honors pre-calc is an option if he's already in math 3 right now.
Miss Willett, that's your area.
It is, but Miss Davis is our math guru, so I am giving it to Miss Davis. She can talk it way better than I can.
I definitely wasn't going to try to answer that question. So
I apologize. I actually had a teacher panicking, trying to get into the building to get a laptop for tomorrow. It was texting me. Do you mind explaining the math question again? I did catch that it was a math one, but I was trying to help this panicking teacher.
I was just wondering about what the IB analysis SL, HL levels are as opposed to, for example, honors pre-calc if I have someone who's in math 3 currently.
Got it. Okay. So what grade are they in currently?
9th grade, and we'll have math 3 the second semester.
Perfect. Yes, so it's actually a combination question that Katie and I both can answer as far as the fact Katie can definitely speak to this part of it. You are not permitted to test in IB courses until certain periods of time. So SL2s, you cannot test in until the 11th grade, and then HL, you cannot test until the 12th grade. Katie, do I have that correct?
Yes, that is
Yes,
correct.
okay. So what we usually recommend for students that come out of middle school and have already completed Math 3 is we recommend that they either take honors pre-calculus or AP statistics during their 9th grade year. In order to take AP statistics, the only prerequisite is the Math 3. So if they're ready to start an AP course in grade 9, they are permitted to sign up for AP statistics. Otherwise, the honors pre-calculus is actually a very helpful course, even though they will see some of that information again in analysis. It's definitely information that they will find valuable as they prepare for that. And then at that particular point, they can go ahead and start analysis SL1 their 10th grade year, and then take SL2 HL1 their 11th grade year, and then take HL2 their 12th grade year. The difference between analysis and applications is more statistical based, and analysis is more calculus based. And so we do not offer an HL track for applications because typically it is for students who don't necessarily want to pursue something that's a math career further down the line and would like something that's more statistical that could help them in businesses and things like that.
If you want, I can also send you, the IB publishes subject briefs that depicts everything, every content piece that goes through in each of the math classes. So I know you're talking a little bit about that pre-calculus versus, I think it was the analysis one, and therefore you can kind of take that and compare, just see the topics that are covered in that according to the IB, and then can compare to the other coursework as well. So that might help too.
So if someone is not wanting to go down the IB route in grade 11 and 12, then do you still recommend taking the IB class in grade 10 or just go right to pre-calc?
No, in that particular case, so that's a very important thing that sometimes parents and students don't know is if you want to go an AP calculus route, you must take pre-calculus as a prerequisite. For the analysis class, the pre-calculus is actually built into it, and that's why you can take AP statistics and then go straight to analysis. But you are not permitted, this is by district guidelines, and as a former math teacher, something that I would tell you wouldn't be a good idea anyway. You're not permitted to take AP Calculus AB without honors pre-calculus. So in that case, what I would recommend that a student do in grade 9 is take honors pre-calculus. In grade 10, take AP Calculus AB. In grade 11, take AP Calculus BC. And then in 12th grade, either take a math at CPCC or take AP statistics at that point.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Latasha Williams.
Hello, good evening. I wanted to ask sort of your understanding with the colleges and how they see or rank an IB diploma versus graduating with the through the AP track. Is IB seen a little bit higher than AP? Is it seen equal? Like, can you offer any insight on how and I know you can't speak for every college, but for generally what you see in colleges and how they view, because I've heard mixed things about credits and things like that. So just wanted to get some feedback.
Sure, I'll start, and then Allison's actually probably the best in that she's actually got real world experience with her children in both pathways. So my child is my dog that you see walking in the background, so I'm really sorry for that. So the district requires our students that do the diploma program to be diploma program candidates, which means they have to take the full course load, which for the IB is 6 subject groups. So from all the way from English all the way down to an elective. And then they also have to complete theory of knowledge, which is a class that we run in their junior and their senior year. And they have to also complete the extended essay as well as CAS, creativity, activity, and service. So it's really a whole program of study. When students do that, counselors send that they are diploma candidates. And so it can, depending on colleges and universities, determine like that shows that that student has taken a rigorous course of study. When it's broken down, individual IB classes earn scores as well. So AP classes are graded on a scale of 1 through 5. IB is graded on a scale of 1 through 7. And so 7 being the highest, 1 being, oh dear, right? Depending on how that goes, right? Depending on what that is. Most colleges and universities start giving credit for IB classes at 4. So that being said, I always want to encourage students to do what's best for them. So IB can be seen as being rigorous because students have to take classes that are outside their wheelhouse. For example, you'll notice I punted that math question to Miss Davis because that was not my wheelhouse, right? I was very much a humanities person. And so I am learning the art of mathematics as I continue to grow older. But that would have been a struggle for me. That would have been the classes that I would have struggled in. Conversely, we have some students who excel in maths and they, struggle in sometimes history, right? And that just is not their wheelhouse and where they're going towards. So colleges and universities know that when a student tries for the IB diploma, that they are doing something that is not necessarily within that. That being said, they want to see students who do well, right? And so if a student knows and is going for that AP capstone, they like to see that as well, or even just AP classes that are going to fit what they want to do in the future. And so I think that colleges and universities, it just depends on the student, the courses they've chosen to take, the colleges themselves, what they're looking for at that point in time.
Maybe the major.
And just how, major and how they've differentiated themselves too. At Myers Park, one of the best things that we have is our student life. Students, if there's not a club that they want to be involved in, they can start that. And that just shows action in that community, right? And being able to do that, which is really lovely. And so I think that at Myers Park, and Allison, you can back me up or correct me, right? We want to support students in what is right for them and making that choice, whether it is an advanced placement course or an IB pathway that they want to go down, or DP pathway that they want to go down. We want to make sure that they're set up for both of those. So it's good to reach out when students start looking at colleges to do that. Something I recommend my students to always do is you can actually, and I literally say Google, which sounds incredibly horrible right now, but Google Chapel Hill, IB credits. And so you can actually go on and see, if I take IB higher level math, what kind of credits and courses is that going to replace? Should I do well on the exams? And students can start kind of placing that. For example, I had a student that was looking at NC State at the beginning of the year, and we Googled some of the classes that he was interested in, classes he thought he was going to do well in on his IB exams. And it turns out that they weren't going to give him the credit that he thought he was going to get. And that actually shied him away from applying to NC State. But, just thinking that through is things in terms of how we do that. And Allison, I don't know how you would recommend beyond that.
Good idea.
No, I totally agree with everything that you said. And it's great that Mr. Folk went back to that AP Capstone Diploma. Basically, when a student applies to colleges, there is a place on there where the counselor has to let colleges know what is available to the students and then what the student took advantage of. So with us having a college and career promise program, an AP Capstone Diploma program, and an IB diploma program, the most important thing is that when a student applies for a college, that the college can see that they took advantage of one of the rigorous opportunities that was available to them. But to give you, just a couple of scenarios that has happened in the past, we had a student who was full IB and in their 12th grade year decided that they wanted to apply for medical school, and the particular program that they wanted to apply for actually expected them to have more science than what they originally had. So that student actually exited IB during their 12th grade year and instead added some more AP classes like AP chemistry and AP biology, and then some of our biomedical science classes, because that's what they most needed for the program that they were applying for. And that goes along with what Miss Willett was talking about. Another scenario that we had is, as some of you may know, about, I think it was 3 years ago, both our valedictorian and our salutatorian were students who had gone completely college and career promise their 11th and 12th grade year. That was the programs that were best to them. And one of them went on to Chapel Hill, I'm 99.9% confident. And then one of them went to MIT, but had many, many people that were trying to get that particular student into their college. And then I always, to Ms. Willett's point like to just talk about my experiences with my own children. I had one who went LYP 9th and 10th grade, but knew that long-term they wanted to be a lawyer. So for 11th and 12th, it made sense for them to switch over to AP so that they could get the AP US History, the AP Government and Politics, the AP Micro, the things that would help them be prepared when they were applying for colleges. The other one was NYP and then went full IB. That has worked out fantastic because he's actually at Florida State University, and Florida State, as do many colleges in Florida, I understand, they award credit for SL courses as well as HL courses in the IB program. So in his particular case, when he went into IB, he didn't know he wanted to go to Florida State, but we ended up getting to have a lot of college credit when he went to Florida State because of the fact that he had taken IB. So there's really a lot.
What was his major? What was his major? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What was his major?
That's okay. His major is economics at Florida State.
Okay, economics. Gotcha.
But you know, again, it was more of he at the time didn't know what he wanted to do. So for him, the IB program made sense because it gave him a little bit of everything. Whereas AP, you do tend to be more focused on particular courses of interest versus give me a, you know, some upper level in all these different things, including a 6th subject.
Okay. Those are great examples. Thank you very much to both of you for that answer. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm just going to add on to that. 3 years ago, a policy was passed by the North Carolina State Board of Education that it is required that North Carolina state colleges give credit for both AP and IB exams past a certain number. So if you're going to an in-state college, it is required that they give credit for AP and IB exams at a certain, they have to set a threshold. So it is, which is good. That's good news for us.
Yeah, and the other thing, it's good that you brought up the exams, because the last thing I would add to that, and I'm sorry to go on and on about it, but some of the kids actually like the College and Career Promise program because there is no IB or AP exam at the end. I mean, either you pass the college course or you don't pass the college course. And so ultimately, particularly if they're even thinking about getting their associate's degree, which we only have about 8 kids maybe that will get their associate's degree before they graduate from high school. But, you know, to know that if you pass that college course, you now have the college credit if the school is accepting it, versus on top of that, I've got to make a certain score on a test at the end of it.
So we thought we were being helpful, and I think we probably have confused most everyone on this call, even though the information is wonderful information. I think the way I would sum that up is know your child and help your child know themselves, and really work so that they are taking the most rigorous coursework they can successfully complete, as well as look at your child's interest and talk to them about their interest. And if there are some specific interest areas, then help navigate them toward their interest areas, because the counselors are not going to always know children equally well, but you do as a parent. I had a nephew that is at Michigan, and he's a doctoral candidate in nuclear engineering. And he didn't go through IB diploma here. He went through the honors and AP track, but he focused on science. He loves science. So heavy science in high school, you know, entered North Carolina State University, and now is at Michigan and doctoral candidate in nuclear engineering. So like I said, there's so many examples and so many choices. And that's the wonderful thing I will say about Myers Park High School is we do offer many different options, many different pathways and combinations of pathways. And I will tell you that I'm going to brag a little bit and say that Myers Park probably offers more opportunity than most high schools in Charlotte. And I'm going to get in trouble for saying that.
Sandra, do you have a question?
Hello, thank you so much for opening this up to questions. This is fantastic. I have a question regarding registration. I have a daughter who took pre-calculus and math 3 and is now facing either taking AP Calc or AP statistics. She is not very strong in math and worked very hard in both math 3 and pre-calc. Which one would be less rigorous in your mind?
So actually, in that particular case, I would say AP statistics for 2 reasons. One, I would say AP statistics because the students feel that AP statistics is not as rigorous as AP calculus AB. I would disagree as a calculus teacher. I love teaching calculus, but that is what the majority of the kids would say. The other reason that I would say do that is because the AP statistics actually also in many people's minds is not viewed as being as rigorous. So in that particular case, it would look like you're increasing as you go along, meaning you're taking the AP statistics and then you're going up to AP Calculus AB and then up to AP Calculus BC at that particular point. And then that 12th grade year, depending on what colleges you're looking at, then consider another math at CPCC. Because a lot of your more competitive colleges want to see a math every year.
Terrific. Thank you so much.
I know we've gone about an hour now, so we can take one more question. If someone else has one more question, then we'll finish up.
Ryan, do you have a question?
Hi, this is actually his mom, Christina.
Okay.
Hi. He is very much interested in engineering. I mean, that has been his solid choice now for a while, and he loves physics too. And so he is pretty much determined that he's going to stick the course with IB for 11th and 12th grade. But I'm getting a little nervous now that maybe that's not enough science. I feel like the math will be good, but now I'm starting to get a little questionable based on some of the examples given of kind of engineers and, it's not a pre-med situation, but I'm just hoping that that's kind of the right path there.
So
is there anything we're not considering for like NC State or other kind of engineering schools that, yeah.
So we have, of course, the 3 Project Lead the Way classes that are available to students. So students can take Project Lead the Way Intro to Engineering and then go to Principles and then Computer Manufacturing.
Yeah, he's finished 2. He's hoping to do the 3rd. I know this is very detail oriented, but there might be some other parents out there whose kids are kind of on that path too. So like taking the highest level math, like HL1, HL2, taking the physics, HL1, HL2, he would have had chemistry, bio, and the MYP physics. I mean, I feel like he's checking all the boxes, but is there something we're not considering?
Yeah, that's probably a great one that I would direct to the counselor, because sometimes you can tell the counselor particularly what school you're looking at, and they are so in tune with the admissions at those particular schools that they can answer pretty quickly based on what school and what program it is, whether it would be better to go into a different, to maybe look at the AP courses instead as an option. So that is a great example of something that I would direct to the counselor.
Sure. Okay.
Can say we have had students complete the diploma program and have been successful getting into engineering colleges as well. So I think Ms. Davis's suggestion is probably really good.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I want to wrap up this evening's presentation and encourage you to look over this slideshow. We will have this posted on our website, and you're going to put it in the Mustang Express, I think, as well, Ms. Davis. In the Mustang Express, we'll have a link to this presentation. So look over it. If you have any further questions, certainly reach out to your child's counselor, reach out to one of us, and we're happy to help you and your child along the way. Also, make sure you pay attention to the end of the program, that has the course registration information. And then, of course, it is the copy of this PowerPoint as well. So I hope this has been helpful for everyone. And I would encourage you, if you have others that have not been able to join us tonight, want more information about this or have questions about these changes, please direct them to this PowerPoint first. Hopefully their questions will be answered in the PowerPoint. And if they still have questions about the changes, they're always welcome to email one of us directly. And we're happy to help them with this information. Again, we're very excited about the changes we're making to support all students and to really strengthen our academic program across all grade levels. And I'm just really thrilled to be here and join this very intelligent crowd, especially the two on the Zoom tonight with me. I appreciate it very much. And thank the PTSO for their support in making this happen. Thank you all.